Imagine the year is 2010, and the first 3D Castlevania adventure game since Curse of Darkness is set to release. The game was to retell the story with input from Hideo Kojima of Metal Gear fame.
Yeah, and it was weird! 2 lanes! Welcome to my first video game review video. I'm not even gonna waste time with an intro, cause that's how cool I am.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow is the first Castlevania game to be released on the 7th generation consoles, the PS3 and the 360. It was met with relatively reviews, so I never even touched it. But in 2013, the game was re-released for Steam on the PC.
And when something goes on Steam, it's eventually on sale for less than $10. And that's when I bought it. So there's that story.
At first sight, you're probably just like, oh, too late, this is just a dang old God of War clone with the slashy and the combos and the quick time events. It's not really a God of War clone though, even though they share a similar combat system. The story is much easier to follow in God of War. The story in this game, however, is completely freaking insane.
How insane, you might ask? Well, put on your plot pants because we're diving right in.
Note, this is a spoiler warning, if anyone cares. This game has been out for 5 years and the story's whack anyway. You've been warned. So we boot up the game and are immediately confronted with the end of days and Patrick Stewart giving a narration on how everything sucks and how
darkness has come to engulf once proud humanity, and we are witnessing the end of mankind.
we see the
hero,
Gabriel Belmont, as he rides into a town being attacked by werewolves. The game just throws you straight into combat in the rain, and it still looks pretty freaking good. Just look at it. I mean, really, look at it. It's just like, psh. Gabriel's attacks are split up into light and heavy attacks that you can combo together, a lot like Lament of Innocence, and that came out before God of War, so suck it. Every time you kill an enemy, you get experience points to unlock more combos and abilities for your cross that has a chain on it. I couldn't make that up. Unfortunately, this intro segment also introduces the QuickTime events. You know how much everybody loves them timed button presses. When you finally clear away all the baddies, Gabriel asks a villager where he can find the Guardian of the Lake, to which the villager says,
He will find you. In the forest.
Seems legit.
So you go in the forest. Next we get some hero sitting alone being edgy enough to cut a loaf of bread. He has a dream about his murdered wife, but suddenly his brooding is interrupted by wolf howls, and then
I hear you seek the Guardian of the Lake. I will take you to him, but we must be quick. Climb onto my back. Hurry!
Is that blue glowing horse that came out of a portal Russian?
this leads to a writing section that's, fun. After a whole 5 minutes, you make this epic jump, and as fast as he appears, poof! No more glowing portal horse.
Duh.
Next, you go through a spooky swamp. You fight some dumbass goblins. And walk through swamp water really freaking slow. Gabriel eventually makes it to the Lake of Oblivion, where the living can communicate with the dead. He also meets its guardian, Pan. Then there's some dialogue between them about how some think God has abandoned man, so the creatures of darkness can claim all of the souls of the living. But the order that Gabriel is part of believes that it was a spell that separated the earth from the heavens, allowing evil to run unchecked. Yeah. And the elders of the order dreamt that there was a message for Gabriel that would hold a clue to their salvation.
Good.
Okay, so something, Gabriel's dead wife has a message for him, so he has to enter the lake, but first he has to be proven worthy to enter the lake. So to be worthy to enter the lake, you have to do a puzzle minigame. Now this might have been interesting, but for some reason the devs just added the solution to the puzzle in your book. I'm not joking, it's right there. You can literally just look at the solution to the puzzle. The only difference is that you don't get the XP. Oh no. After I totally did that all by myself without any help, there's this weird cutscene where Gabriel stabs his wife with a weird mask on. And he asks,
What does this mean? Tell me.
Oh, you'll find out. I'm about to summon it.
But Pan doesn't give Gabriel an answer. He just tells him he can go in the lake now. Once inside, you figure out that the lake is frozen. And you also figure out that you have to fight everyone's favorite boss, the Ice Titan. Now, I made a video a while back on fighting the Titans. Here's a link to it if you want to watch it, but I'll sum it up in a more coherent fashion. This fight sucks. The whole fight is just climbing around on him trying to beat his ass, and all he does is try to casually shake you off. Sometimes he even reaches for you with the urgency of a Willy Wonka.
Stop, don't come back.
Now you might not know that the secret to beating this boss is holding right trigger every 5 seconds so you don't fall off. Then you move the control stick every which way to follow the extremely obvious ledges you can grab, and occasionally mashing the attack button. After an intense napping session, you beat the boss and get a chat with Gabriel's wife, who says the power of the Lords of the Fallen, Lords of Shadow, are the key, and there's some ancient prophecy. You know what, let's take a minute and look at our list of cliché game tropes. We got quick time events, check, edgy emo character, check, definitely got that, quest involving prophecy. Oh, that's 3 for 3! Gabriel also meets Zobek, another member of the Order of Light. Patrick Stewart is going to help you on your quest. He explains that the prophecy is that a pure-hearted warrior will claim the power of the Lords of the Fallen, damn it, Shadow, and overcome all evil. So now we finally get to the main plot. Go to the Lords of the Shadow and obtain their power to reunite the heavens and the earth. For some stupid reason, they decide they need to split up though, so Gabriel's going to head to the land of the Lycans, and Zobek is going to head for the land of the vampires. Then they are going to meet up and go take out the Lord of the Necromancers. This would also be a good point to address the platforming in this game. Every ledge and hook you can grab glows, so there's not really any thought put into it. You just kind of grab and shimmy and grab, shimmy and swing. You just, don't take your focus off or else you might fall. Gabriel also comes into possession of 2 medallions which introduce the final combat mechanic, magic. There's light magic and dark magic. Light magic empowers your hits to heal you, and shadow magic just makes you hit harder. These are really important for puzzles, bosses, and abilities later. Okay, now where were we? Oh yeah. Near the land of the Lycans, Gabriel almost falls to his death when a girl comes along and uses a crystal to summon. Holy crap, what is that? It killed the thing and then poof. The girl runs away for no reason, and then Gabriel almost gets whacked by this golem thing later. But then the girl is there, and she starts expositioning about how the crystals are really powerful and that she can read your mind, and that the golem thing is her guardian, and they're coming with us to stand on the sidelines and tell us what to do. Man, these NPCs are helpful.
She also tells me there's another Titan I need to fight. Yippee.
It's just as boring as the first one. You don't even have to move. It'll eventually throw a boulder that you QTE back into it and then start the climb. So I'll bet that you didn't know that the secret to beating this boss is to hold right trigger every 5 seconds so you don't fall off, and then you move the control stick every which way while you follow the extremely obvious ledges you could grab, and occasionally mashing the attack button. Except this time you got this psychic girl telling you what to do, even though you just fought the same boss probably not even an hour ago. You kill it, boom, whack, dead, all the Titans are gone, thank God. That night, everyone is asleep, and Gabriel has a nightmare that he stabs the shit out of the psychic girl. Then Pan appears and tells Gabriel to take the golem's gauntlet. It turns out Gabriel really did stab the girl. Goodbye, side character that got minimal screen time and died randomly to make me question why you were included in the first place aside from exposition. The golem is pretty pissed though. He smacks Gabriel perfectly onto a circular arena with no land around it.
Gee, I wonder what this could be. Is it a boss fight?
So you quick time the armor off of it a couple times and score yourself a new gauntlet that magically attaches to Gabriel's arm. After killing a bunch of Lycans and progressing through the land, you eventually get to the Lord of Lycans, and he basically goes, "Ha, you want to kill me? Alone? Ha ha ha, I have exposition for you." He says that there were 3 great warriors that founded the Brotherhood of Light, and they fought the minions of Satan long enough to tip the equilibrium of good and evil in God's favor. They found 3 locations where the power of God was so intense that it made a bridge to heaven. They said, "Screw this crap," and ascended beyond humanity to heaven. But in doing so, they left their dark sides on Earth, creating the Lords of Shadow. Ha, got it. And if you kill one, the other dies. Whatever, pointy meat tenderizer, let's fight. Too bad it's like everything else in this game. You fight him as a human, and then as a lycanthrope, and then you QT him dead with his own weapon. You get some speedy boots and the power of the Lord, which manifests itself in a piece of the God mask, which is said to be able to bring back the dead. To the vampires! On the back of Pan Eagle. Wait, was he the Russian horse earlier? Nah, Pan isn't Russian. The eagle drops you off at a place that isn't the land of vampires, and you have to go up a tower and fight a boss with a completely unrelated plot to the main storyline. But before I go into that, I have to derail for a second and explain an enemy that first appears here. That little shit is a chupacabra, and it steals all of your power-ups. You have to go and find it to get them back while it taunts you with stupid quotes.
Cooey, over here!
Whoever thought this was a fun mechanic deserves to step on a Lego every day for the rest of their life.
Now that I've addressed that, I can go back to the not related to the story. It's a giant crow lady that lost her love and tried to kill herself, but something now she's a crow demon. Named Malphus. That's really just a reference to older Castlevania games, even though the reference is by name itself and it is no way related other than the name. Killing her causes the tower to collapse and Gabriel looks dead as a doornail, but thank God plot convenient portal horse is there to save the day. He takes Gabriel to the land of the vampires.
Why didn't Pan just take Gabriel there in the first place?
Now we're in a cold village and we learn that Zobek has done absolutely nothing this whole time. And thanks for taking out the vampire, man. I'm glad to know I can count on you. He says there's a relic in the town abbey that is said to burn vampires, but the abbot has locked himself inside and put deadly traps everywhere. Good. Sounds like a good old time in there. Go through puzzles, avoid traps, grab ledges, kill things. Turns out the relic is some holy water. Gabriel returns to the village and there's another name-only reference to another Castlevania thing, the vampire lieutenant named Bronner. Kill him, save village, more references to better games, and then into the vampire mansion. Inside, Gabriel meets a vampire child that wants to play some kind of weird chess.
What is that? Nope. No. 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 No.
So, when you beat her, she tells you the location of the Dark Lord. Well, that's what she said before you played with her. She doesn't actually tell you anything. The next part is probably the greatest bit ever. You go through some tunnels and end up in the butcher's room. The following boss fight is a dude that throws his butchering instruments at you, and then halfway through the fight drinks something from a cauldron, and then just plonks the cauldron on his head. You hit the cauldron backwards so he can't see, and then kill him with his own sword. That is amazing. Next, Gabriel ends up in Frankenstein's part of the castle. Who would have guessed? Here you do puzzles and then fight a giant robot scorpion, because why not? You beat it, but you don't completely finish it, so you can fight it again later. Laura the vampire child reappears, angry that she lost the chess game earlier like a little bitch and attacked with puppets straight out of the movie 9. 9? Like, anybody see that movie? You? No? No? Okay. Laura actually almost kills Gabriel with Force Lightning, but seeing the love between him and his wife leads her to spare Gabriel.
I don't want to play anymore.
Saved by the power of love. Damn, this game's hitting every cliche.
Last but not least in the mansion is the clock tower. Yeah, that one level that's in every Castlevania game that no one likes. Ugh. Go up, grab ledge, move wheel, oh my, second fight with Scorpion Thing, kill it dead this time, turn crank, go up, fight Olrox, kill Olrox, laugh or cry at another name that's only reference only, and finally open up the path to the Lord. Yeah, time to kill me some Dracula. That's not Dracula. That's not Dracula at all. The Lord of the Vampires is a lady named Carmilla. She says the exact same thing the Lycan Lord says while trying to tempt Gabriel, and then you fight. Goth Boobs isn't all that imposing though, so she transforms into Bat Boobs. After smacking her around for a while, we get this pretty crazy over-the-top death scene. Killing her gives you angel wings and another piece of the god mask. 2 down, 1 to go. Pan magically appears again, cause that's how he do, and tells Gabriel to look inside himself. And Gabriel just asks,
What is this sorcery?
Bud, I think I would've asked that the first time he did something weird out of nowhere, like all those other times that he's appeared in this game ever. I guess he doesn't really care though, because he just goes through the mirror thing to, Harvest Valley. Yeah, that's definitely where that is. It's definitely Harvest Valley. He meets a witch here that wants a thing, so you have to go to the thing to do the thing so you know where the thing is to get to the place. That seems to be this game. Let's break this down. Gabriel needs to get to the land of the dead. Baba the witch knows how. Baba wants a blue rose for the information. The blue rose is in a music box. The music box is locked, and there are 3 keys for it somewhere outside.
Alright, that's it. That's me not playing anymore. I am out of here. I kinda actually I messed up. I kinda wish I had actually quit right there, but nope, I kept going.
So the first thing is the 3 keys. Those come from evil scarecrow monsters that come to life when crows land on them. Do that 3 times and you have the keys. Go in the music box, do the puzzle, get the blue rose. Whew! The hag sends Gabriel to the Titan graveyard, which is really annoying area with these stupid coffin things. At the end of the graveyard, Pan is there, like usual, and turns into a super silver knight dude and takes your magics away. Then he starts trying to kill you.
What?
He eventually gives you your magics back, and then you kill him. Right before he dies, he says that it's the way that it has to be, and that someone must die to open the path to the land of the dead. He also asks Gabriel if he can accept his fate. The gate opens and Gabriel enters the land of the dead. It's really, red. After fighting a bunch of things, grabbing ledges, going through portals, and jumping around like an idiot, Gabriel finally reaches the Dark Lord. All he does is send a giant dragon titan to fight. So yeah, hold right trigger, use control stick, follow ledges, occasionally mash attack button. Been there, done that twice. Kill it dead, and here we are. The final level. Here it comes. Gabriel releases the power of the final lord and gets the final piece of the god mask. After all this time, he finally completes the mask. Zobek then appears to congratulate our hero, but uh-oh, plot twist, Zobek is the Dark Lord of Death. He cast the spell to separate the earth from the heavens, tired of the three lords not willing to combine their strength into one power. Here, let him explain it.
I fought hordes of demons and became strong. Then a force so vast and terrible entered into me, expanding my knowledge of the dark arts until it reached unimagined heights. All I needed was someone to restore the luminous power of the spirits according to the prophecy, and you have been the perfect dupe.
He plans to kill Gabriel using the gauntlet, which was forged in hell, and that somehow gives him power over it. Zobek also used his mask to control Gabriel into killing the psychic girl, and his wife.
No. It's not true. That's impossible!
Search your soul, Gabriel. You know it to be true.
Then Zobek uses green force lightning to seemingly kill Gabriel. You need more lightning resist, buddy. Zobek takes the god mask and gloats with it, but then...
Hail, mighty Zobek.
Who's there? Who?
Double plot twist!
The devil put the idea for the whole plan in Zobek's mind. Yeah, the devil, Satan, Lucifer, the morning star.
Is this real life? It's not real life, but is this real Castlevania life? Is this Satan? It's real Castlevania? What?
So, Satan burns Zobek up and appears as a naked white man with darkness covering his junk.
I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response.
And he yells that God will bow down to him and, normal Satan things. Meanwhile, in the spirit world, Gabriel's wife convinces other random spirits that are unable to pass to reinvigorate Gabriel as their last hope. So they do that, and now you have your final showdown with Satan. That sounds really dumb when we're not talking about Dante's Inferno. He's actually one of the cooler fights in the game, requiring you to switch between magics to pass through barriers to get to him. There's some really crazy scripted scenes in the fight where you brawl with Satan in midair. Eventually you beat him and send his ass back to hell, leaving Gabriel with the god mask. Gabriel's wife appears and tells Gabriel that he fixed the world. Yay! Gabriel tries to use the god mask, but then it just lets the user see through the eyes of God and not actually giving any power. Then why did Satan want it? Whatever, I don't even care. Gabriel's wife leaves and Gabriel is crushed. The end. Wait, what? The end? I feel like I'm really missing something here, like, I don't know, Castlevania? Castlevania usually involves Dracula? Castlevania has always been a game about killing Dracula. He wasn't even passingly mentioned. Why? And that's where the DLC comes in. Yep, the DLC finishes the story that the game does not. So in the DLC, Gabriel is called back to the vampire mansion by Laura that explains that there's a super evil demon beneath the mansion called the Forgotten One.
That is a reference to Lament of Innocence for the PS2.
The demon was sealed away using the Brotherhood Saints' power, but now they're dead, so he's breaking out of his prison, and it's up to Gabriel to go kill it. The catch is that only a creature of darkness can enter the prison because, So Laura sacrifices herself so Gabriel can become a vampire and fight the demon. A couple of levels of really frustrating boss later, Gabriel kills it, steals its power, breaks his cross, and leaves. Cut away to later, and Zobek finds Gabriel, Dracula. Yeah, the Belmont is Dracula. It could have been a good twist, but it's in there so weird and randomly that it just doesn't fit. Anyways, Zobek says Satan is preparing for another return, and he needs Dracula's help. Dracula gets flung outside and it's modern times. The end. I mean, this game wasn't the worst thing I've ever played by any means, but I felt like the story built up to something completely whack and left me saying, no, don't end like that, or why would you do that? The combat was okay, the visuals were pretty nice, the bosses were enjoyable aside from all the QuickTime events. I'm not even sure if the game deserved this much attention, but at the same time it did. The worst part about the whole thing is that there are 2 more, and they got worse reviews. We'll find out though, won't we?
Thanks for watching my first review. If you liked it, it would be a big help if you hit the like or the subscribe or the comment.
I'm gonna try toning down the length though, because this ended up being a really freaking long video. I'll see you next time. 2 lanes out.